Good afternoon, indeed, for us, so Training from CBI. It's my pleasure to welcome all the participants for today's session. I heartily welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Arvind Rajvanshi, our speaker, Dr. Sunil Kumar Singla, our principal investigator, Dr. Varinder Garg, and our co-principal investigator, Dr. Harish, Professor Sakshi from UIT, Dr. Bimil from DAV, Dr. Shivani from PGDC, and all the coordinators from our Brain Trust Institutes. Today, we have a session named Biometric Approach Using Fingerprint Recognition. This session will give you insights how fingerprint recognition allows a person to verify or identify through the analysis and comparison of his finger dermal ridges. So before we start our today's session, I would like to play a video from CBI.
and the engineers to come together. Now I have been assigned today the topic, the biometrics, and more specifically hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. More specifically, the biometric approach using fingerprint recognition. Now, the first question which comes into one's mind is, why biometrics? The biometrics is required for human authentication. Now, the second question comes, why authentication? Authentication is a process of reliably verifying the identity of someone or something. In the recent times, there is a rapid change from human operated systems to machine operated systems. As we are moving towards a machine operated system, the security concerns regarding the authenticity of a person go on increasing. According to the Javelin Strategy and Research, existing account frauds in US total around $16.9 billion in 2019. Almost 10 million Americans learned they were victims of identity fraud in 2019, up from 8.1 million victims in 2018. According to GVG State of Digital Identity 2020, 1 in 5 people have been affected by identity fraud. So, are there any traditional methods? Yes. The traditional person identification or verification technologies to verify the identity of a person are based on something that you know, such as personal identification number or something that you have, such as the ATM card. But these methods are no longer reliable enough to satisfy the security requirements of the electronic transactions. All these techniques suffer from a common problem of inability to differentiate between an authorized person and an imposter who fraudulently acquires the access privilege of the authorized person. Moreover, these methods can be used for positive authentication. Means if you are having any ATM card, only then the machine can tell you that yes, you are this person. They cannot be used for the negative authentication. Means if we want to find out that this fellow is a criminal or is having some criminal record, we cannot find this with the help of the traditional methods. The biometric is a technology that relies on something that you are. Biometric is a study of measurable biological characteristics. This technique makes use of the fact that each person has some specific unique characteristics that cannot be poached, borrowed, or stolen. Some unique features of the human, they are fingerprints, eye features, facial features, hand geometry, palm print, handwritten signatures, keystrokes, and the voice. Theoretically, a biometric system must have universality, uniqueness, permanence, collectivity, and practically we also require performance, acceptability, and circumvention. If you will see the biometric systems, they are of two types. One is verification, means one-to-one system. Second is the identification, means one-to-many system. If we will further elaborate, the one-to-one system means the person will go and say, yes, I am this person, and the system will tell whether this person is Mr. Ram or not. The second system is if you want to identification, means you want to have the access of a club, the system, the person will go give his identity and the system will tell that this person is a member of this club or not. Verification. This system compares the biometric information of a person to one specific entry on a database that corresponds to that person. This is a two-step process. In the first step, the person asserts his identity and allows the biometric system to retrieve the relevant information from the database. In the second step, the person gives his biometric information. Based on the information given above, the system decides the authenticity of the person. As I have told you, you may take the example of an ATM. Identification. In this, the person supplies his biometric information. The system then compares and correlates the biometric information to all the entries on the database and tries to identify the person. As I have already told, this particular scheme, identification, can be used to find out the criminals in the database. This system gives the information who the person is. There are two performance metrics. One is false accept rate. The second is false reject rate. The false accept rate, the rate at which the system falsely accepts an imposter as a genuine user. The false reject rate, the rate at which the system falsely rejects the claim of the authentic user. Now, as per me, the false acceptance is more dangerous than the false rejection. However, as per the security, one can choose the acceptable level, the high false rejection rate, but we cannot accept the false accept rate there. Now, fingerprints. Why I have chosen the fingerprints for this lecture or for my research? Because fingerprint is one such parameter which is being used by us for the many from the many years for the user authentication. If a person cannot sign, we take his fingerprint. Now, and if we will go to the bank even today, they are having certain a machine, the person will put his thumb on that machine, particular machine, or give his fingerprints, then only he can operate his application or the machine. The fingerprints, they are basically of three types. If you will see your fingers, you will find one out of these three impressions on your fingers. They may be loop, they may be arch or hole. The loop may be left or right, it depends, and they can be further classified accordingly. And within these, we are having these type of dots, or we are having the bifurcation there, or we are having the trifurcation there. We are having enclosures, we are having certain bridges there, we are having spur there. No two people have the same type of minute. These are known as minute points. No two people have the minute points at the same number in the same place on their fingertips. This is why our fingerprints are totally unique. It is published that no two individuals will have more than 8 common minute points. If you will go to the passport office, there the person will take your thumb impression, and that fellow will compare with the database we have already stored using the Aadhaar. And there, if you are having even 70 or 80% match or 75% match, they will say, okay, you are right. Means they have created or they have extracted ample number of minute points, mainly the ridge ending. This is the ridge ending, means the ridge is coming, and at this point we are having the ridge ending. And here we are having the ridge point. Mainly these 2 points are extracted from the fingerprint, and it is well established that no two persons or individuals have more than 8 common minute points. Am I clear? Any doubt?
Oh, sir.
Okay. The second one is the image-based fingerprint authentication system. In image-based authentication system, we mainly work on the intensity values. Today, I will be discussing with you the image-based system. Then, if the time permit, then we will discuss the minute-based system. Now, for any system, either it is minute-based or it is image-based, we require 2 steps. One is the enrollment of the user. The second is the authentication of the user. In the first one, the enrollment of the user, we specify the name of the person. We are having that particular person is having a particular password and the biometric information of that particular person. Now, the system which we have developed, in that we are having the name. When the name is entered, we say done. Then we are having the password. Now, in the system which we have developed, in that system, no two person can have the same name, although any user can have any password. If the same name is entered, that is already there in the database, the algorithm will demand a new name to be entered. we can make the same for the password also. After this, the system demands the biometric information, means the fingerprint of the person, which it wants to store. Now, if we store the whole image, the memory comes into picture. So we, instead of storing all the image, we store a part of that known as template. And so that template first is to be extracted from the system. Now here I have given one reference image from the system, which is having a fingerprint 1/2.bmp is the file name. Now the choice of the template is very critical, because if we choose a template very critically, then it will help us to have a better authentication system. The template chosen must be asymmetric enough so that it will have the sufficient information, must be complex. Although the complex template, they take longer time, but the simple templates may result in the errors while we are matching. The template must have the information vertical and horizontal, or it must have the vertical and horizontal features. The size, that is very important. If we will take a larger size image, the memory comes into picture, the error rates comes into picture. So the choice of the size is very critical, and the position from where you just want to extract your template. The common choice is, if you will go with the reference point, which are core and delta points, but some figures, they do not have the core and delta points, then the problem will come. What we did, we extracted three sizes of templates. One is 50x50, second is 100x100, then 200x200 template. Now, while extracting the template, what we did, we applied a simple method of variation. We applied the standard deviation to calculate, to extract the feature. If by experiment we found that if the standard deviation for 50x50 template or image is 300 units, for 100x100 image is 450 units, and for 200x200 image is 600 units, it was fulfilling my requirement. If the particular image or particular fingerprint is not having that standard deviation, then I have to extract the image from some other point. That is what we then shifted the image by 1/4 of the template size and extract and find out the standard deviation there, and ultimately we extracted the images of 50x50, 100x100, and 200x200 sized images. Now, one thing, after extracting the image, we can save that image as it is, or we can extract the features from that image. Now, fingerprint images, they are having the problem of rotation and translation. So we have to take care of rotation and translation. Then we have to extract the certain edges or the information from that particular template, which is to be stored and will act as a reference template or reference image. Now, in order to find out the rotation and translation, we calculated the circular intensity profile of the image. Now, if you will see the circular intensity profile of the original image and translated or rotated image, that will be same because it is a circle. Here I am having two images. One is the original image. Second is the image which was shifted by 14 pixels in X as well as in Y direction. Then when we calculated its circular intensity profile, that was same. So the first problem of the fingerprints, that is the rotation and translation, that was taken care by the circular intensity profile. The second, the edge information of the image was extracted using the non-uniform subsampling operation, in which pixels are analyzed by checking their surrounding neighborhood for uniformity. Means when I extracted an edge, I also stored its surrounding information, how uniform its surrounding is. Means 3 by 3, 5 cross 5, 7 cross 7, 9 cross 9, and this information was helpful for me to identify that particular template in that particular image. The second step was the authentication. In the verification step, first of all the name and the password of the user is checked. If any of the name and the password is incorrect, then the system gives a message, you are not an enrolled user, and it will stop. Now you have to enter the name, you have to enter the password here. If it is not true, then the system will give you you are not an enrolled user. If this particular situation is passed, then the system will demand the biometric information of the person. Here I have given the same image 1_2. It will give me you are an authorized user. Now this particular signal can be used to give the access control for any particular application. Here I have only displayed it. Now if I will give certain other image, then it will give me you are not an imposter, you are an imposter, you are not the authorized user. Now in the work which we did here, we created the database by rotating, translating, and rotating plus translating the images. From one image we have created the 90 images. Further, this is what the rotation is shown on the picture, rotation and translation. Now further, we are having the notion that if we will enhance any image, particular image, then that image will give me the better results. I just want to check whether this is true for the image based system or not. Now when the same procedure was adopted and same images were taken, when we checked the results, then we found that these are the results on the original database, and these are the threshold values, means acceptable levels, whether 70% is acceptable, whether 75% is acceptable, 80% is acceptable, or 90% is acceptable. Then we found that the false rejection rate is more when the template size is more. See, for all the figures, for all the threshold values, as we go increasing the threshold value, the false rejection rate will go on increasing. False rejection is if the person is authentic person and the system is saying you are not an authorized person. And when I compared it with the enhanced image, the image after the amplification or enhancement of the fingerprint image, to my surprise, we found that the results were opposite. Now here 200 by 200 image is having a FRR of 3.61 and here it is having 11.94, and it was true for all the cases. Then we concluded that when we are enhancing the image, the grayscale image value or the grayscale, the intensity values, they are changing. So when we found out the false acceptance rate, again for high templates we were not having any false acceptance, but for when the template size was reduced, we were having very high false acceptance. And as per the thresholding, it will go on decreasing. For 900 it is 0.85%, and for 700 it is 19.87%. And same when we checked it on the enhanced database, we received the same result as that of FRR. So it was concluded that the success rate of verification system in case of image based technique, that is highly dependent on the threshold value and the size of the template used for the learning stage. Smaller size learning images have lesser false rejection rate and higher acceptance rate, while large size learning images have higher false rejection rate and lesser false acceptance rate. So we have to choose the threshold value, the size as per the requirement or my particular application. Moreover, the higher the value of the threshold, higher is the false rejection and lower is the false acceptance. So a compromise has to be made between the false acceptance and false rejection. The value where the false acceptance is equal to the false rejection is known as equal error rate. Moreover, it was also concluded that the pre-processing or enhancement of the images should be avoided in case of image-based fingerprint authentication systems. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I will tell you briefly about the minute-based fingerprint verification system. Why I would also like to tell you why I have explained the fingerprint-based, image-based fingerprint system, because I just want to develop one system. The main problem in biometric systems or fingerprint-based systems is the liveness detection. Means the doctors will tell me better when the person is no more, he's having the fingerprints for some time available. Am I true, sir? Hello, Dr. Vrinder.
Yes, sir.
Am I true? When the person dies, the fingerprints will remain for some time.
Yeah, might be possible, and for some period of time it's possible.
Okay.
Yes, that is possible.
For some hours, in fact, for some hours, because as body, like when we die, so what happens? The body starts to decay, and that's the reason why might be the fingerprints are not visible.
So, sir, what is the real problem with fingerprint based system is that the liveness detection of the person is not possible. So I just want to develop a system which will take many, will have many parameters which can be taken as a biometric, means his palm print, his fingerprint, his finger vein may be taken as the input depending upon the system itself. The system will ask to the person to give his palm print or give me your fingerprint. That's why I have discussed the image based system first. We have checked it, the same system on the palm print, and we are going for the finger vein itself to verify the authenticity of the person, and we are on the trial basis in this one. The minute based fingerprint verification system. In minute based system, we require the pre-processing. That is very important. Then the second step will be the extracting the required information, then post-processing, then we have to look for translation and rotation, then the validation. Rima ma'am, how much time I am having now?
Yes, sir, you have 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay. So I will quickly go through this system. I am having this image. Now we compared it with the thresholding, which thresholding is to be used. Now this is the global thresholding, means I am having one thresholding for all the images, and this is the local thresholding, means I have divided the image into different regions, and I have obtained the better results using the regional average thresholding technique. This is the enhanced view of the same. Now we implemented, or we also developed one you will say thinning algorithm. In the thinning algorithm, we also enhance the time by having different techniques, extracting the window size or window, how you are extracting the window, using a Karna map technique, which I will be explaining in the when we will be extracting the you will say the minutes. Then we also used some technique available in the MATLAB itself to enhance the image size. Ultimately, I was able to speed up the process by 40% about of all the images in the thinning process. Feature extraction. The crossing number is one of the most commonly used image extraction method, having this formula. If Cn is equal to 1, then we will say it is ridge ending. If Cn is equal to 3, we will say it is bifurcation. The crossing number method is not robust against the spikes, false minutes, and tends to register spikes as the minute, which is required to be eliminated in the post-processing scheme. What we did, this is the 3x3 window, and these are the minute values, or you will say this is the one part of your fingerprint which we have taken, and this is the image or the pixel in question. Now this pixel, this ridge is coming, and we are saying yes, this is a ridge ending. We applied all the techniques, extracted all the possible combinations for ridge ending and all the possible combinations for ridge bifurcations. Then we applied the Karna map. All the engineers must have studied the Karna map. This is a simple technique, but we do not know how to apply it. I applied it in the fingerprint itself. And this is the K-map which we have obtained. From the K-map, after simplification, this is the difference how my method was different. Now see, if some ridge is coming in this direction and I am having certain spike here, this is not the ridge ending. But crossing number method is considering this is as a ridge ending. These points, these points, these points. Now we have to develop those algorithms which are fast, which are accurate, which are direction independent. After the application of all the methods here, we obtain these results. Now see, the crossing number method is having in this image 344 ridge ending points, but the proposed method having 27 and having a difference of 117, it means 117 minutes were wrongly extracted by the crossing number method. And this is the point where bifurcation were there in the system. So there are two methods, there are two ways to increase the speed: either extract the things accurately or speed up your hardware system. Now what we are doing in our system, since we were developing the algorithms, we have extracted the minute points efficiently and removed the false minutes at the very first stage itself. These are the results which we have obtained. These are the further points shown taken from the ridges, where we are having the ridge bifurcation points which were not actually there. That's all from my side.
So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Sunil Kumar Singla, sir, for such a great lecture on biometric fingerprint identification. And I think so this might have enlightened us with how the fingerprint technology works and how we can use it for different devices, so that we can enable the security or increase the security of our devices, especially healthcare devices. Thank you so much, sir.
Sir, I would like to again say I am very thankful to you people for giving me this opportunity to interact with you. Number one. Number two, I am again thankful to Dr. Arvind and Dr. Vrinder for taking this initiative so that the engineers and the doctors can talk to each other, collaborate with each other, and take this biomedical system to another level. Thank you.
And now I would like to invite Dr. Raghuvanshi ji to come and give his presidential remarks.
Thank you very much. I am grateful to be invited to this session by the ICMR Center for Innovation in Biodesign at PGI Chandigarh. It was really a matter of enjoyment for me to listen to the talk by Sunil Kumar Singla, who talked about the biometric approach using fingerprint recognition. It's a very, very important science coming up and used in day-to-day practice. You can use it in even your mobile phones have the features to identify either by fingerprinting or face recognition, whatever method. So this is very, very important. And as he said, and authentication of a person is very, very important. And secondly, when your mobile phone didn't have this kind of identification, then there were a lot of problems. Now, your mobile phone is almost a book you are carrying. Your all data is in that, including banking, money, everything. So it requires a fingerprinting and proper identification for that phone. As Dr. Singla said, engineers and doctors, yes, they should come together. As far as our country is concerned, we have to have the technology which is required by the medical professionals. And this we have learned in the COVID era, at how engineers can help us. because most of the medical equipment at the moment is being imported as far as India is concerned. So engineer can definitely provide us the technology to improve our instrumentation paraphernalia and have by the innovative ideas to modify the current system. Because most of the equipment is imported. If they provide us at a low cost, the equipment to be used in the hospitals, in our medical colleges, that will be a great boon. And I'm sure ITMR Center for Innovation and Bio Designing at PGIMR will be taking up a step forward in this direction. And I'm really happy to be associated with it. All the best to Dr. Singla and to the Center for Innovation and Biodesigning. And I'm really grateful to Dr. Balram Bhargav, who is the Director General of ICMR or the Secretary Research at the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, who has taken a great step to establish this kind of center at PGI Chandigarh, which will be doing a commendable job in the near future. And I'm sure we will be able to get many things from the center in practice as they will transfer the thing from bench to bed. Thank you very much. Grateful to you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a great presidential remark. And yeah, thank you once again, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sunil Kumar Singla, sir. And thank you all the participants who have taken their time to join this session and gain some knowledge from this. I hope a lot of insights you have got from this. And yes, now this is the end of the session for today. Now talking about the next session, which will happen in the on next Saturday, same time. And before leaving, it's a kind request to everyone to just to fill the feedback form so that we would also understand what are your requirements and how did you like the session so that we could improve it in the next sessions. So yeah, signing off. Thank you so much and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.